it, and there was consensus, unanimous, and that's unusual because often we disagree with each other.
Quite a lot.
We disagree with each other a lot.
Just give that. Less than half of buskers belong to the active group.
Yes.
So unanimous within the small, the relevant small.
Well, actually,
okay, I can see this is going to be an issue. We're going to sort this out amicably.
Peter's the moderator.
Let Michael finish.
You just said that less than half of buskers are members of the email group.
That's my understanding.
68% are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
sorry, that's good to know. Not all the buskers that are with a license are actively busking.
Yeah.
So it says that pretty much everyone is busking regularly is a member of the group because it's in his own interest.
But you know, let's just bear in mind that even half of the occupational group have got something useful to say, you know, and we're not suggesting that a group dictates. There is a dialogue. There is a dialogue.
There is this catch-22 as well. They say they won't be anything that comes from the other group. They won't accept anything that comes from the other group because it isn't representative. But we have asked, I know the papers asked, we might a lot of us have asked, for them to actually notify the people, the license holders who aren't on the other group, so that it is...
Because you haven't got the addresses.
Well, we haven't. They've got the addresses, but they
yeah, let Michael finish, and then I'm going to ask TFL just to respond.
Because there are three things that we really would like to see. One is a recognition that issues that aren't operational or health and safety, we have a say in how what happens. We have a say in a decision about, for example, the booking system. So that's the first thing. That's what we'd like to see. If it's operational, we understand you have to take decisions. If it's health and safety, you have to take decisions. But if it's simply to do with the effect it has on us, then we want to have a say in it. So we're asking for that. We're asking for a process of representation. We'd like to see representatives regularly meeting with LU. And so that's the second thing. We'd like you to recognise that yes, there's some representatives who have been elected, and we will meet with those people and recognise those as legitimate representatives. And in order to do that, the third thing we need is that you will help us elect those representatives, because we don't have access to all the buskers. 32% are not on the Yahoo group, and many of those are not on email. You have access to their addresses. We would like to be able to do a poll of all the buskers to elect some representatives. We need your help to do it. We want you to recognise those representatives as representatives, to meet with them regularly, and to accept the principle that any changes that are not operational or health and safety, we have a say in.
I don't have any arguments with any of those. Exception to that first one. There has to be an additional element, and it has to be commercial. So there's got to be a health and safety operational. There's also be some sort of commercial thing that we are paying money for this. And if it changes that commercial position, we need to control that as well. But as we've met with the musicians unit, you need to figure out how do we run some elections, how do we make this fair, is there a way of doing it? So that has to happen, and that's how we'll elect representatives through a dialogue with them, and they'll have a dialogue with you, or we'll have a three-way dialogue. I'm not entirely sure how that will work yet. But yeah, I don't have a difficulty with having representatives that we meet regularly, or whatever we decide that we need to work out.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much. We really appreciate that. I mean, and I think everybody understands that you don't always get what you want. But at least if both sides hear what the position is and what the explanation is.
Well, we've already got face-to-face meetings and the year of the phone calls and emails, so this is exactly what we want to achieve.
And I think, to be frank, TFL has lots of areas where it doesn't have standing, representational arrangements. The taxi drivers and PCO, for example, I mean, it's not unusual in TFL to have this kind of regular dialogue. So, do we have a proposal, do you think, to have an inaugural meeting of, I don't know what you're going to call yourselves, but...
Beck.
But are you?
Beck. That was the name given, wasn't it? What was it?
We need to talk to the musicians and come up with a way of having free and fair and representative election as quickly as we can. That becomes a representative body that we agree to meet with on a regular basis to, and yeah, to be perfectly frank, there are no behind the scenes dealings on this. I can guarantee you that we don't do anything like that. Those changes, that A and B system, was fundamentally our attempt to make it fair. Maybe we got that wrong, maybe we didn't consult enough, that's fairly clear. That's something which is why we declared it's not because we were trying to control things. We hear from buskers that feel that our booking system is unfair, so the team responsible went, how can we make this fair? We came up with a few ideas, tried to do those. Would those ideas have been better if we had talked to some of you? Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, when do you think we could kind of see the first inaugural meeting? Because obviously it involved you in doing a letter round or convening something.
I have no idea, to be honest. I don't know how. It's pretty early days in the position field, but I think we are talking.
No, we've actually started a process through the other group to allow people to put themselves forward and to be nominated. And there's a draft constitution we've done to create this. We'd like to have some talks to get that nailed down, and to keep critical thing to get every busker to have that, to receive that by post, so that they can not just the other group have access to it. We've started that. In fact, we were going to have the closing date for that only in a week's time, and that's obviously too quick, but we could do this within a matter of weeks.
Can I just ask, how many people here are a member of the Musicians' Union? Forgive my ignorance. Okay, thank you. So it's less than half, but some of you. Who have you been talking to in the Musicians' Union? Is it a busker or?
No, it's official representative.
Officials. Do you have any contact with the officials of the Musicians' Union? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so perhaps you could collaborate with them. Yeah?
Just at the point, I think most of us suspect that certainly individuals in the office that we actually deal with there might be considerable reluctance than you've displayed to go down this road. They've been pretty transition so far.
Yeah, I think that there are strong field leaders that have built up on both sides of this.
So part of the problem in myself as well, I think a lot of that comes from random individuals firing off emails in anger or whatever. This is another thing we want the committee to cut out.
Okay,
there's an official channel.
Yeah, I mean, people have been burned on both sides. Chris, did you want to finish that?
I think that's true. One of the difficulties is that London Underground, quite rightly, I think, doesn't see this as a core bit of our business. This is moving people back and forth in trains. So that makes it difficult for people to understand who run a railway. That can make it difficult. And because we have such strict rules on things, we sometimes feel we need to apply those same strict rules to everything because that's the corporation that we are. But that doesn't mean that we can't change that and we can't come up with a way that this would work. Well, it mostly has worked, hasn't it? It mostly has worked in that we have had a busking scheme for a long time. And it is not concemented.
But it's much easier to demonise people on both sides when we've never met face to face.
Okay. Lady here, sorry.
Yeah, I think this is one of the main issues, is that there's been a lot of talk on the Yahoo group about, general disrespect, really. I think it is possible that it's been on both sides, but coming from the office. And it is a shame that they didn't come today, because it would be nice to meet them face to face, to meet all of them. And it is unfortunately linked, I think, with the general perception of who buskers are or how they behave. And they have kind of stonewalled us on a lot of things that we've suggested. And I have to say, unfortunately, it just is often quite patronising the way that they communicate with us.